Hello, my name is Spencer, and today we are looking at Aces and Adventures, which is a deck building game that incorporates poker into it, which I think is kind of an interesting combination because you'll have your deck of 30 cards, your special abilities, and a 52 deck of cards, and you use your special abilities with the 52 deck of cards to deal damage to enemies and do other things. And I think it's an interesting combination. Before we get into the game itself, let's look at the options menu. I will say right off the bat, I had to turn this resolution way down. It started at the resolution of my monitor, which is way too high. But even when I brought it down to 1080 and had the resolution scale at 100%, it made my case fans spin up like crazy. So I'm not sure if it's a problem with my computer or something like that, or if there's some optimization issues or something. But I would recommend maybe turning down your resolution and the resolution scaling if you're, having problems running the game. I don't have problems running the game. It's just that the fans spin up like crazy. And it seems kind of weird because this is not really a graphically intensive game, so I'm just kind of surprised that happened. Just something to know. So you can have full screen on or off. You can turn VSync on or off. You can adjust the VSync a bit here if you want to match the monitor's refresh rate. Do it by half or whatever it is that you need. There's some presets here. I just keep this on medium because, again, if I turn it up, it makes the fans spin like crazy. Other things, motion, blur, depth of field, ambient occlusion, bloom, volumetric lighting. That all seems fine considering the game that it is. I'm not expecting a ton of options. It is just a card game. You got audio sliders for all of the individual things, so that's good. You can select a lot of different text languages. I don't believe this will change the spoken language, although I don't know any other languages, so I haven't tested that, but I think that just changes the text. You can increase the size of the cards in case you have some visual issues seeing things. You can make the cards bigger, and you have a bunch of different tooltips and things like that you can turn on or off, whatever you want to do. I haven't really had to use like the backspace or the space button or anything like that. You can play this game pretty much exclusively with a mouse. You don't really need to use any keys on your keyboard for anything. So that's nice. And cosmetics, you can just change this to a traditional 52 deck of cards. The way that they're designed in this game, they're kind of stylized. I keep the stylized, but you can change it to look like just a regular deck of cards if that's what you want to do. So, we can actually get into a game. There are story missions, story campaigns is what I should say, and you can, I think there's 12 of them in total or something like that. I'm only up to 4. And there are, I don't remember how many classes, I think 6 or 7. I've mostly been playing the rogue. But you have these options here, and then you have War of the Branches, which I believe is just a procedurally generated game, where it's kind of like Slay the Spire, where you start out, there's a whole map, you start out at the first node, where you encounter an enemy or whatever, and then it kind of branches off in different directions, and you can fight groups of enemies, elite enemies, there can be events, there can be shops, there can be all kinds of stuff. I've played a little bit of it, but I lost pretty quickly, probably because I don't have enough cards unlocked to really be effective. So there's that. But we're just gonna do the regular story mission here. I haven't unlocked the Enchantress yet. I guess that's the last one. I guess there's only 5. I thought there was more. But I've mostly been playing the Rogue. I like the Rogue's play style. It's doing a lot of manipulating of cards and changing the cards' values and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. So You can start with a mulligan, so you can get rid of a card that you don't want. I don't really want this 2, so we can just get rid of that. Oh, I got a 2 back anyway.
Rippling ebon. The desert whispers a breeze scented of sun-baked stone. The tower on the stark horizon stirs a curious nostalgia.
And you can have a listen there for yourself. There's some really nice voice acting. And this is primarily the way that the story is given to you. There'll be a little card and a short text blurb that is spoken out with, again, really nice voice acting. We don't need to listen to all of this because I've played this before. So now, sometimes, well, let me explain what's happening. So, you have your deck of cards. The standard is 30 special cards, like this one down here, the Dodge. You have those, and then you have the 52 deck of cards here. So, this enemy is attacking me. They have first strike, which means that they get to attack before I do. Now, in order to defend against this attack, I have to play a queen, and that will negate the damage. If I play something of a higher value than a queen, say a king or an ace, not only do I defend against this attack, but I also do damage to this enemy.
Surrender.
Which obviously didn't happen there because I played a queen to match it. And when you play a card, or several cards, like let's do a pair of 3s and attack you, you have to play the same number of cards in order to try and defend against that attack. I guess the AI didn't have any other cards, so it only played 1. But, for example, if the enemy attacked you with an ace, you couldn't counter that with a pair, because that just won't work. See, you have to play the same number of cards that they play. Now, I don't have anything that can counter this, unfortunately, unless I could do this dodge, top deck against the attacker to cancel combat. So what this does is I play this card, and then I draw a card from my deck, and the enemy draws a card from their deck, and whoever has the higher card wins. So if I win, they won't attack me, so we'll try that. I did win, I got an ace, so they don't get to attack me. Some of these other cards do other things, like I can draw 2 abilities and 2 cards with this one, but I have to give up a diamond or a heart and a club or a spade in order to play this. So I'm going to try that and see if I can get something a little bit better. I didn't. I was hoping for maybe a pair of jacks, but that's okay. So now, the jack is really the only thing I can attack with. They have a 10, so I win, because the jack is a better hand. A 6, I can play an 8. I defend and also do 1 damage to them. So this is good. I can do a pair of queens. Yeah, you definitely can't defend against that. So, something else I should point out is that the number of cards that you play is the amount of damage that you do. So I played 2 queens, and I did 2 damage. That was 7. I could, if I wanted to, cancel this attack. I'd have to give up a 10, but that's fine. I'll just cancel that attack.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Now, I don't believe I have... Oh, I do. Now, I could play this. I could increase the range of one of my cards. So what this does is I pick this, and I say, you know what? I want a pair of 7s. I can bring this up by +1. Actually, +1 or -1. But I'm going to make that a 7. I'm going to play this 7. Got a pair of 7s. You only have 1 7. I do 2 damage. I win that round. Now, at the end, I can either heal, or I can level up. I don't really need the heal. I don't think I took very much damage there. So I'm just gonna level up. Okay, now, I've leveled up enough that I have a second card option. I was just having to do this. This was the only option. I think this leveled up at level 10 or 7 or something like that. But as I level up this character, you can see I need level 15, I can unlock a new trait. So +1 defense for each successful attack until your next turn. I don't usually attack more than once in a turn, and I like having the black cards deal +1 attack.
The path to the monolith.
So if I play a black card 1,
swallowed by sand,
then
Time to strike.
I will do 2 damage instead of just 1. Now, one thing I want to mention is that this says armor penetration. I can guess what that means, but I don't have any armor. And the game doesn't tell you what it is. See, if I hover over one of my cards, these little pop-ups will come out telling me about the card, what it is, what it does. It doesn't do that with enemies. I don't know if that's an oversight or if that's on purpose, or if that is so that you can learn what the card does as you play. But I do think it would be helpful if these pop-ups showed up when you hovered over the card. I think that would be helpful. I also think that it's helpful to not play your highest card. But I have found keeping at least one high card. Oh, I can't do anything about this. Actually, I can.
Vanish.
Keeping
Surrender,
one high
this will be
card will help
painless.
you defend against enemy attacks, which is really nice. Wild Spade in your hand and do an ace. I could do that. I could take this 2 and make it an ace, and then attack you with this. Plus it does 2 damage because it's a black card. I won that pretty easily. Now I could do an additional attack. I'm gonna try it.
I'm not done
I have
yet.
to give up the 4, but I can attack you with a king. And I will win that one. I don't think it does 1 damage because it's not a black card, but that's okay. I do have a pair of 10s. Now I don't have anything to beat a king. So if you've got a single or a pair or something like that that you can't beat, it's probably best to just give up your lowest
Surrender.
card, because you do
This
have
will
to
be
play a
painless.
card. You can't skip it and say, well, I don't have any cards that I can use. I'm just gonna not play anything. The game will not let you do that. Now, I would like to guarantee,
This will be
pretty
the
much
key.
guarantee an attack. I'm gonna get 3s. So this will do 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, because remember my black cards get +1 damage. You probably don't have... Yeah, you don't. So 2 damage there. Sometimes you can react to dealing damage. Some of your cards might have a reaction ability. So this one will heal you the same amount of damage that you have dealt. So I'm gonna do that. I don't need the whole thing, but it will, because I did 4 damage. I only needed a heal of 2, but that's fine. Perfectly fine. Now a pair of aces, I just can't do anything about that. So like if I try to play 1 card, it automatically selects the other card, so you can't do it. You have to use 2 cards.
Time
But
to strike.
you do have 52 cards that you can use, so it's, it's not really a big deal. Can I attack non-adjacent cards? Well, that doesn't matter because you're adjacent to it. I will do a pair of kings in hopes that I can win this right here. And I will. It'll do 3 damage. And I win!
search the strewn bones.
I don't need to restore. I will search. And I got... Your spades deal +1
bonus.
combat damage. So now, if I have a black spade, that's doing +2 damage.
Nice.
So all my
You
black
crawl through a
spades
crumbling tunnel
now
for
do
hours.
+2 damage.
A shimmering
So that's really
path.
nice. So
This
I've
place-
got a pretty...
This place. The point.
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. I've never gone
strangely
in.
familiar.
And I'm not gonna play all this because it'll really take a while to
One's ready.
get through all this audio. So now, black spades take a high priority for me. I definitely want to play those. You can probably beat a 9. I'm gonna try it anyway. No, you have an ace. Not exactly. That's okay. That doesn't matter because you're adjacent to me. A pair of 10s. I can't bring this... I can only get this up to a queen if I level it up, and I can only bring this down to a queen. And I can't do... Oh, I actually don't have the card to level that up. Could wild an ace, but that doesn't make any difference. Okay, I just have to play this.
You are not fit to fight my
And also,
shadow.
you don't have to select the cards if you don't want to. The game makes it pretty easy. I could just hover over this and it will automatically choose a card for me. Oh, why did that do... Well, that did 0 damage. I'm not sure why that happened. Ooh, actually, I'm at 2 health. Heal 3 HP. Oh, heal 3 HP when the enemy is defeated. That's not going to help me right now. I guess we just got to end the turn. Okay, an ace. Oh, I can't beat an ace. And I don't have... Oh, wild a spade. Oh, I don't have any... Oh, yes I do. I have a spade. Okay. So we'll use that ace to defend myself so I don't take damage. That's nice. Those cards aren't really useful. I'll use this just so I can heal at the end of this, and hopefully I'm able to get to the end. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. That doesn't make any sense to use that. Give me the ace. Deal 2 damage. I do win that because you just have a king. Okay, we're a little more even. I've got 2 health. You've got 3. Pair of kings. I can't win this. Win a failed... That's a failed attack, not a failed defense. Well, that sucks. I'm gonna lose. Oh. Oh! Oh! You have 3 of a kind of a king. Oh, boy. Okay. I absolutely lost. Okay. I shouldn't have gone that way. So, every time you complete a run, you'll get mana, which is basically experience points. So I do want to show you that. So over here, you have different little coins, I guess, for the different classes. Once you have enough experience points, you can move this over here, and then it will unlock a leaf, which you can then unlock a new card. So you can see for the rogue the different abilities that I've unlocked. Well, cards and abilities. So you can get a card like this +1 defense. You can redraw a card at the beginning of your adventure and other things that will level up along the way. I'm not sure what the maximum level is. You could probably... There's probably a branch for every level, so you could probably count all these, and that's how many levels there are. But yeah, I quite like this game. I think it's good. I will briefly show you the War of the Branches. I'm gonna stick with the rogue because that's what I know. And the starter deck seems to be fine. I haven't felt like I needed to
In spring,
adjust the
when
deck.
leaves are young and most tender, hungry mouths awaken to feed. Stop the forces of Inverness before they consume Cardrazzle.
Yeah, so you can see you have branching paths here, consumables, encounters. You can increase your maximum health. You can rest. There's boss encounters that you can't avoid. And it branches and goes all the way to here. I have not gotten very far in this, but maybe we'll see how far we can go here. We have this first encounter.
Strike.
See here again, leaping. I'm not sure what that means. Again, it would be nice to have the tooltips so I knew what that was. Maybe it'll do something. Leaping. Can't really defend against that. This one range. That'll only go to a queen. Nope. See, now it moved to this side, and I have seen... Well, you saw with that scorpion. that had first strike, then it moved to the left. Not really sure what the point of that is. I guess it's just an ability, and because now when the card is kind of tipped to the right, it's like it's on cooldown. Basically, it can't really do anything at the moment. I could
This will be the key.
Triples here. And that was definitely overkill. I just now realized you were only at 1 health. So that was not necessary. A group encounter or just a regular encounter? Let's do a group encounter.
You are not fit to fight my shadow.
Elusive, harmless defense. Again, not really sure what any of that means. I don't need the heal. I'll draw 3 abilities. Draw 2 cards. Let's try it. Increase range. That doesn't really help. Well, I could get a pair of 7s.
This will be the key.
Do 2 damage. We have a pair of 9s. Ooh, but I can react. Remove a card from the enemy's defense, but they're not defending. Will this work? Ooh, it does. Ooh, and I did damage to you anyway. And just killed you. Okay. Thought it said it only works with defense. Apparently not. Draw 2 abilities, draw 2 cards. I can get rid of the pair of 2s. It's not really doing anything. I did not get an ace, which sucks. Oh, wild a spade into an ace. I'll take 3. Defense against that, so I don't take any damage. A 9, I can play a jack.
I will end this.
And wild a card. No, that won't help. Actually, I don't need to use the path. That's so much. I should have played the pair of queens. I should have done that. I'm gonna attack non-chase. You know what? I'll give up the 5, so then you can attack. It's one less attack I have to deal with, right? I can play king and do 1 damage to you. You skip your turn because you can't do anything. And then you're both at 1 health. Let's just, well, yeah, let's just get rid of you. You have an ace. That's all right. Well, this spade into an ace. I could try that, sure. Then I can do the extra attack. Go for you. That's good. Only a jack. Okay. So yeah, there's different combinations that you can do here. I'm just gonna give this attack. I don't have a pair that can beat that. I do have a pair of kings. You got nothing. You got a pair of jacks. Not good enough. There's no need to react. I won. But yeah, it's an interesting combination of building your own deck with the 52 card deck.
I will put this to good.
I will say that if you're not familiar with poker,
and this will be painless.
You're probably going to have a hard time. I'd like to maybe guarantee
this will be the key.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 of a kind here. Because you seem a little scary. You're like this buff orca. It's a little frightening. I don't really need the heal right now, but I'll do it anyway. Just because. I can't counter that, so I just take you 2.
I will end this.
Or 2 cards from the top of the discard pile. A 9 and a 2. That's not really what I wanted. But this is a spade. I do value spades. Get rid of the 2, get rid of the 4. I don't want those. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Ooh, I could just do this now. Okay. I can level up. I can go to a merchant. Give me
Shall
the
we deal?
merchants. Discard 3 abilities. I don't like discarding abilities. Heal 1 HP per club you use in successful attacks. 3 HP. Overdraw 3 cards. If I'm gonna take, I'll take one of them.
This one.
You discard an ability. I guess I'll get rid of contract. I don't want that one. I don't want to get rid of 3 abilities. That's too much.
Time to strike.
So, and some of this text I think is just describing what it is. It's a sapling. I don't think that does anything necessarily. I want to attack this thing first. It moves around. Can't kill it.
Second
An additional
bang.
attack. Let's try to kill this thing before it starts leaping around. Okay, that's a good turn. Pair of kings. That's very good. I don't believe. No. Enemy is forcing you to discard. Oh boy. The top deck doesn't
Surrender,
really
and this
that
will be
much.
painless.
3 9s. You only got a 4. Now I'm not sure why the enemy consistently is able to play not the same number of cards that I play. Because the rules for me is if they play 3 cards, I've got to play 3 cards. But just there it only played 1. I don't know if that's the only card that it had. I don't need the health. Okay. Create a permanent additional copy of a card in your hand. Ooh. Mulligan any number of cards in your hand. Discard cards are removed from your deck. Wide range +1 for 2 cards in your... Oh! Wild suit for 2 cards in your hand. The suits don't really matter, but the range? Oh, that sounds really good. Oh, that's only at the beginning. Oh, that's only at the beginning. Ooh, can I go back? I didn't realize that. Ooh. Can I do this one twice? I don't know if it did it twice. Group encounter, elite account. Let's try the elite.
Time to strike.
Oh, it does. Ooh, I can do it twice. Ooh, that's so nice. Okay. Harm shield. I have no idea what that is. Oh. I think it does damage to me even when I attack. I could tap an enemy. And then you can't attack. Do that on. I'm not using that 5 for anything. Ooh, I got a pair. Or wait, I can bring this up to. I can bring this up to a jack. Well, I'll just counter this with a king.
Talon's ready.
Ooh, 3 jacks. Ooh, that's 3 damage. I might want to play that on you. Oh boy, I don't have a lot of health, actually. I'm gonna need to heal. Because I feel like I'm gonna die. I feel like I'm absolutely gonna die. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. That's probably a good idea. And then additional attack.
Daggers will sing.
And then try to get one of you. That's good. We're just gonna end this right here. I have to match the number of cards that they have.
Surrender, and this will be painless.
I'll attack with a pair of hands. Win. I'm gonna want a heal. Ooh, I didn't realize there's a boss encounter right after this.
A useful tool.
It's 1 combat damage with hearts.
I can
Okay.
use any.
So hearts and black spades are
You are
important.
not fit to fight my shadow.
Actually, I did fight this once. It didn't go so well. Heal 3 HP when this enemy is defeated. That would be really nice to have. I'm gonna do that.
You have a price on your head.
As long as I survive this. So there's a bit of strategy with this. You can just sort of mindlessly play, I guess, if you want to. I'm going to cancel this.
Talons ready.
A pair of aces is something I cannot contend with. Put 2 cards and true abilities. These cards are not very good, so I'll do this. I did get an ace. I almost have a sequence, but I don't have a 5. I have 4, 6, 7, 8. I believe a sequence is something I can have. I should show you. There are certain poker hands that are available to play. Oh boy, I'm probably gonna lose. Are available to use. Oh, I should have used smoke bomb. I should have used that. Oh. But not all of the poker hands that exist are available to play in this game. Like, you can't play 2 pairs. Like, if I have 2 2s and 2 3s, I can't play that. 2 pairs are not allowed. You attack. Deal attack damage with heart. Heal equal to damage. I don't have any hearts, so that's not helpful. Pair of 10s. I can't defend against a pair of 10s. So just take the 8.
Time to strike.
And get rid of that one. Wild. That won't help me. But a pair of 5s is pretty good. 10 and a jack. That one. I would absolutely like to heal. Oh, that's right. I have +1 combat damage for hearts. I'm pretty close to dying here. I guess I just have to do this.
Surrender.
I'm just gonna try to wild a card, but that won't work. Ooh, I could wild the jack.
This will be the key.
To queen. And the likelihood that you're gonna have 3 of a kind queens or better is unlikely. Had 2 kings though, that was kind of close. 1 attack damage. No, that doesn't make any sense to do that. Pair of jacks. I have nothing. I'm going to lose. Right? I don't have any kind of hard card draw. Ooh, that's rough. Okay, I did level up. So these are all the cards that you have unlocked. You don't have to pick one. You have to click on one of these to advance this menu. I can't click outside here. But you've earned all 5 of those cards from leveling up. And then we can go back and we can level up. So we have 1 level, we can use it to unlock the rogue, which is what I want. So now we get a joker is added to your deck and it acts as a wild. Now this was actually something I was not aware of. I hadn't seen any jokers. I thought maybe this game didn't include jokers, but they do. The jokers are a wild. So that's nice. I get a joker. That's really, really nice. Now, I do want to show you this menu because, like I said, if you're not familiar with poker, you might have a hard time playing this if you don't understand what the hands are. So it goes from 2 to ace. 2 is the lowest, ace is the highest. You have singles, pairs, 3 of a kinds, 4 of a kinds. You have a full house, which is a 3 of a kind and a pair. You have a straight, which is 5 cards in sequence. The suits and colors don't matter. And you have a flush, which is 5 cards of the same suit. And importantly, enemies cannot play these. The full house, the straight, and the flush. Only you can. So you never have to worry about being in a situation where the enemy has a flush and you're just screwed. So I wanted to point this out because I'm not super familiar with poker. I understood, I knew, I had heard of a full house, but I wasn't sure what it was. A straight, I understood that. A flush, I didn't really know what that was. These 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind pairs, all that stuff is easy. I know in some games, not necessarily poker, but ace isn't the highest card all the time, but it is here. And there also is this other page that kind of gives a description of what different things do. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but this is here. So, I do like the game. It is available now on Steam for $25, I want to say. Something like that. I do like it. This is not an early access game. This is out. This is fully out and available to play. And I like it. It's actually $20, but it's on sale right now. But it's $20, not $25. I like this game. It's an interesting combination of building your own deck and incorporating a traditional deck of cards. There's some strategy to it. You can, as I said, kind of mindlessly play it a little bit because it will, when you click to attack or defend, the game will automatically choose what the best cards would be. So you could play through and kind of get familiar with it, let the computer kind of make a lot of the decisions for you in terms of what cards to play. So you can kind of learn it and figure it out. But I like it. And I recommend that you pick it up. And I thank you for watching. And I will see you next time.